So today I'm just gonna show a short presentation of what we do in PHL 50. So wait, let me just start this share screen. Uh-huh. Yeah. So you can see the screen being shared now. So um, here at PHL 50, as part of the Stamina for Space, we really delve specifically on the localization of parts of the small satellite. So here, our concept is from Diwata series, specifically now Diwata-2, back to the people, to you. So as a recap, this is Diwata-2 back in 2018. We just finished the flight model, so this is the actual Diwata-2 being handed to the Japanese Space Agency for rocket integration. Now, behind the Philippines Diwata-2 development is the smiles of the Filipinos who have tried to do their best to give this the best it can out in space and to deliver it our ferry Diwata safely into space. Now these are the photos from the development, the integration, inspection, and testing phases. But more than the smiles, we've made several parts of the Diwata actually here locally in the country. So here, if you look closely on Diwata 2, on top of it, there's a dome. On the left, you'll see on the photo. This funny looking device, we call it the Zenith Sun Sensor. So inside this module are components designed locally and flourish with our flag and Diwata in bye-bye. Now, inside the satellite itself, you'll see the components such as the amateur radio unit. Later on, our colleagues will show you this one. And experimental attitude computers. Now, of course, we also proudly flourish it with our flag and the phrase na gawa sa Pilipinas. Now, here at PHL 50, we in Stamina for Space, our team ensured to continue this journey of developing more components for the sustainability of small satellite development. Now, the device here is what we call a star tracker module, which will help us navigate space by tracking the stars. So it's not far from the methods by seafaring ancestors, or si Moana, if you know Moana. Yeah, we built simulation systems for projecting the celestial sphere, and we've made hardware prototypes to test it on the actual night sky. Now, here's our team on the lab, on the left side, and here's the camera prototype in the middle. And on the right image is our team doing that night sky trials from a car park in UP Diliman. Now, here's one of the actual photos taken by that camera. It's a portion of the Orion constellation. Now, still on the ground, we're working on building simulation systems for small satellites to make them feel, or these development prototypes, to feel that they are in the space environment. So we have three-dimensional rotators to mimic this free rotation in space. And we also have a hemispherical air bearing, which will allow for a microgravity scenario. Now, we also have a custom magnetic field generation system, Helmholtz gauge, that allows us to recreate various Earth magnetic field conditions that could be experienced by the satellite over a certain portion of the Earth. To intuitively, just a minute, still moving, next slide. Okay. Now, Diwata-2, as you've seen in our poster, has already taken several images of the Philippines, multispectral images. And we hope to continue to do that from future satellites and hopefully continue to be powered by locally developed components. Now, we're also doing some planning for hopefully maybe a Diwata-3 or maybe a new satellite, but for sure a Philippine satellite down the road, and providing that platform for it to perform scientific and other missions. Now, before I close this presentation, we have a student on a treetop trying to catch a signal uh, so that he can join the online classes. And then we have teachers on the roof, simulating that space technology. In the end, one of the main goals that we have in mind is actually how we can provide service to the people on the ground. And this is one of that perfect example. Now, in order for these students and these teachers to gather in a virtual setting, they have to connect to towers such as this if they're using mobile data. And of course, as you know, it's not easy to just build satellites all over the thousands of islands of the Philippines, especially in the remote and rural areas. But of course, telecommunication companies are trying to do that, but it might take time and maybe thousands more of towers to be built just to connect every single Filipinos. Now, in the space technology aspect, we believe that the Philippines can just be one big nation seen visually tool, and that is a satellite. So through a satellite, maybe not an Earth observation satellite like Diwata, but perhaps like a communication satellite, we can connect all Filipinos, even just with a single satellite. Of course, there would be other challenges to overcome, but it is possible. It is being done in other countries. Now, lastly, we already have the Philippine Space Agency, and we're proud to have it, even though it's still fairly young. Um, and what's only missing now is actually people, and it's people like you guys to come and join and help us build that effort to bring the vision to reality. So that's all. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the tour. If you have questions, feel free to just approach us anytime.